So we are live. So the thing that's ringing in my head today is just do it, man. It's a old Nike saying, but it is true. Another person that I heard say this was mastery over procrastination. The ability to say that over and over and over and get you and force yourself to do what needs to be done. And there's a lot that needs to be done. That's just life. That's the point of life. There's a lot of things that need to be done, and it's all not going to happen all at once. No matter how much we try to get things to happen all at once, it's never going to happen. So you're going to have to take it day by day, frustration by frustration. I know every day, even speaking to you right now, there are frustrations, there are things that I come up against that have to be overcome every single day. And I am talking to you with conviction because I'm overcoming these things. It'll be different if I wasn't overcoming these things, if I wasn't trying, if I wasn't striving. But that's what helps you, one, to have conviction to change your life, and then two, once you begin to do it, to stay on that track. Me being a Christian, believing in God, that is, you know a whole nother level of you know help that I have on my side. And I'm not gonna, I'm no like preacher or whatever, but that for me um means that, I don't know, it's that belief and that conviction that I know that I have somebody on my side that I can do anything and become, have self-control and become the master of my environment, and of the circumstances and situation that present themselves to me. So that's the word of the day. Just do it. Just get out there and do it. There's going to be so much frustration in life here on you know YouTube and on TikTok and on every platform. There's much to look at, and there's much to get frustrated about the world that we live in. But I think that the biggest thing is that you can only control you, really. You can't control other people. There is no such thing as some mind control that you can put off on other people. You can use your brain to control your decisions and also the outcomes that come into your life. So, that's, I don't know, deeper than what I wanted it to be, but um, this is just our pre-work talk. I think I should probably bring it down a bit because I'm hyped up right now. I had coffee earlier, um, just ate a little bit, and snacking on some, what are these things called? Gummy clusters. So, oh yeah, I'm hyped up. But yeah, man. Yesterday I was talking a lot about being in that state of, you know, no matter what, somebody may come up to you and say, you know what, you you shouldn't do this thing, you shouldn't pursue this thing, because I know that a lot of talk, and I will say this is common, and it always happens. I don't know, it's weird how the same things, we've been living in this world, like I've been alive for 38 years now, and yet and still people still have the same conversations on the negative side of life of, there's not enough jobs, no one's hiring. It's all the same excuses. I can't start this business. It's every excuse in the book people will put out there, and then it's almost like they make you want to believe it. And if you soak up that, if you um if you eat a bunch of garbage food, then guess what, you're probably not going to feel good. And I think that that's what's happening. There's a lot of garbage being put out into the world on social media. Doubts, disbeliefs, fears. There's all the doubts, disbeliefs, and fears that are being put out there. And that creates what? More doubts, disbelief, and fear in other people. So people people don't want to try harder whenever quote unquote nobody's hiring, or quote unquote they can't start a business. Nobody's going to pay me for what I do, for what I know, for my skills. You know, those are all lies. Those are all things that are being put out into the environment. And it's not to say that trying something or putting your hands to something that you enjoy. It's not to say that everybody's going to want it or everybody's going to be there for you in your quest for trying to do something good. But don't look at that quest of trying to do something as futile. If you're genuinely trying to put out greatness and you're genuinely pushing to do more and learn more and to do things even in a different way than you usually do them. So like for example, for me, I like talking head videos. I like to do this type of video because I can freestyle. I can talk off my head. I can talk from experience as well. So if I were to have a conversation with somebody, with a sensible person, and we have a debate, then I'm gonna be able to talk, you know, whatever, the economy. I can talk money. I can talk business. Um, I can talk, combat and military stuff. So it's that ability to use your, but to push yourself to do more, to push myself to do more things and to obtain more stuff. And that's a trap in and of itself. I know it's something that we all deal with. We all deal with that longing to let me let me get more degrees, let me get more pedigree, let me get more of this, more something that says I'm worth something in this world. We always we always as people want to obtain more things. I read an article from Nike that was just today. I didn't really read the whole article, but it was mostly a headline, and I had read a piece of an article the other day talking about how much we consume in this world. And when you talk about consumption, it's free game. It's open season. Consumption, overconsumption falls into every category. It can be candy, women, guys. If you're a woman, it can fall into clothes. Um, what do you call it? Video games. It can fall into every category. So overconsumption. Hello, what's going on? Overconsumption falls into every category um, there is, and it's the number one hindrance. Over consumption can even fall into education. It's the need for more. That's what we want. We want some more. We want some more uh, validation is what it really is. And so we want to. It's funny because on LinkedIn, you see it in plain sight. It's kind of, there's people that make jokes about it, but it's just the consumption. People want to feel, like they have a high value. And I believe that people have a high value without everything. People genuinely have a high value already attached to them. It's a priceless, like the dollar amount of value for a person, even if you just want to say in your workplace, if you just want to ascribe it to, if you want to put it in the confines of your workplace of where you work. I know I'm referencing a lot of things, but I'm going to reference something else. And this is for just, I'm going to talk about more like a software development. So if you work, let's say you work for Google or any big tech firm, and you're a software developer for that firm. I I'm rough. This is a rough number, okay? But rough numbers would say that you're bringing in, I would say, anywhere from 400,000 to over a million for that company. Yet, and I'll just speak for like maybe just an average, on average, a software developer maybe at Google is making 150 to 200,000. I said average, and I know that number goes up, and you got stock options and everything else. But still, let's just say that you're still bringing in, you're making a quarter, a quarter of a million, and you're bringing that company, let's say, like I said, 400,000 to over a million. Then, just as far as your workplace is concerned, you're making that company a decent amount of profit. Um, and then on the other hand, whenever it comes to security and things like that, we're talking about what you're actually stop the loss that you're preventing. And that's why everybody's role in a company is super important. So, like, let's say you want to say a janitor or a maintenance worker, um, will will allow the company to lose less money. Less money is being lost by this company because this person is cleaning the floors. Guess what happens if somebody slips on that floor? There's going to be a lawsuit, most likely, or there's going to be some type of payout, some type of compensation due to what do you call it? Workers' comp. Something is going to have to be put in place to mitigate the risk of getting ultra sued, if that's what you want to call it. So the average for a normal person, for any person, any human, your value is even higher than what it is for your employer. Your value, take yourself out of the employee seat just for a second and look at your value from a standpoint of it's it's really priceless. But like, if you wanted to start at like 10 million as a good number, you know, you could start there and continue to work your way up from there. The value that you hold, um, in your hands, in your body, and in your being. So, you just have to, but you have to put that out. You can't allow yourself or anybody else to stifle that. The ability to be worth over $10 million. And people will laugh at you. Literally, whenever I post this video talking about you're worth $10 million. I am worth over $10 million. Period. And that's not me summoning some like outside force or anything like that. It's just what it is. It's the ability to just have limitless worth, and to go out into the world knowing that, and not allowing things, setbacks, um, doubts, fears, and definitely the doubts and fears of other people. The doubts and fears of other people, we all have them, and we all project them. We all do it. I don't care how skilled of a person anybody can be, how much people know this person, or how famous a person can be. We all put out our own fears, doubts, and disbeliefs into the world. Whether you're the most outrageously confident and whatever type of person, to the person that doesn't have much confidence. We all do it. So I think that my main message here is to put yourself in a position where you're not doing it so much, where you can do it less and less and less, and be less of a what do you call it? Be less of the type of person that puts yourself off track, if that makes sense. Stop putting yourself off track so much. It's already difficult. It's already difficult because of those doubts and disbelief. It makes it more difficult whenever you contribute to that. So that's my spiel today. That's what I wanted to get out. Um, and I'm going to continue to talk about this stuff because I think it's important. Also, go out into the world, man, but continue to be watchful. This world is crazy. It is wild. There's all types of things going on. My message for you that I'm just giving, it's not for everybody. Everybody isn't trying to get it. Realize that. I mean, genuinely, people and those who are getting it, who are just now coming and who want it, they have a genuine curiosity. The genuine curiosity, folks, is awesome. There's people, though, that don't want it, don't want anything to do with success. don't be around those people. If you're anywhere on this channel, it's we don't do any of that. Go after it. Pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, and stay away from those people that don't want that for you genuinely. And they won't be the ones to voice these things. They're just gonna they're going to have this. It's all internal, because all of this stuff, like I just said, it plays over in your mind. We all have those doubts and disbeliefs and those little things, but we all have to, like I said, daily daily, by speaking to yourself in the proper way. What did I say when I first got on to this live? I said, just do it. I said, mastery over procrastination. Just do it. Do the thing that you're supposed to do, you know relentlessly, and you come after it every single day and every single moment of the day, because it's a lot, and it's not going to happen all at once. The things that need to happen are a progression over time, and it takes patience, and it takes mastery over frustration. You have to realize, whenever you're getting frustrated and you're getting worked up, to calm down and to realize, man, like, for example, we're going through the parking lot the other day. I was driving through a parking lot, and driving literally in the right aisle, in the parking lot. I wasn't driving, but my wife was, and some person is crossing the parking lot diagonally. I don't care. I'm all for it. Like, I'll park, I'll cross, but watch where you're going. If you happen to like pop out and somebody's coming down the lane the proper way, don't be mad. Like, there's no reason to be mad. But I think that because being in a rush, being in a rut, not knowing where you're going, like my guy who was driving down my street the other day flying, you know, what's going on? you know it causes all of these. It causes confusion, it causes anger, it frustrates others, all of these things. Whenever you can take a moment, and it's all growth. All of this stuff is growth. There's probably very few people who are born into the world where they are genuinely like this. I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are genuinely just come into the world. They don't deal with annoyance. There are some people who have a lower barrier of annoyance, aggressions, and things like that. I think that there are. Um, but I think that for the majority of people, we have to, if we want it enough, we have to actually try harder and continue to try daily, to not get fed up with people, and not get all pissy whenever it comes to dealing with people. I'm not saying that you need to be smiley up in everybody's face. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't think that that is a cure for any type of annoyance. I think that that actually makes things worse, in the sense with you personally, because you're not we talked about this before. Confrontation is not bad. So if you need to express something with someone, you have to take that jump. That jump is a big jump for a lot of people, to be able to confront people in a positive way, because what? Fear of retaliation. You don't want people to not. And it's also, you know is a people pleasing mentality and mindset. You don't want people to not like you. You don't want to miss out on potential opportunity, because, oh well, I'm being confrontational with my manager. And I'm not talking about confrontation in a bad way. I'm talking about healthy confrontation. And yes, if you need to confront a situation, and it is an aggressive situation, you're going to have to still confront it. So you might as well learn it in a controlled environment, in an environment where it's at work, in an environment where you can communicate and try and work on your communication skills. Nobody's going to be perfect whenever it comes to communicating your wants, needs, and desires. It's all practice. It's practice whenever you're trying to do those things. And things do slip through the cracks. Things slip through the cracks in the sense of, where you're like, should I take this position over, should I take the job over just being nitpicky because of where it's going to put me in my career, and where I'm trying to go? Or should I really push to have this thing? Like, how do you do that? And I think that that is valid. I think that you have to watch for those situations and really be ready. You have to be ready for confrontation, because confrontation can mean that because I'm confrontational, I may be not getting what I want now, but just wait. Because of me, because of how I am, I'm going to eventually get what I want. And that doesn't mean that I'm being pushy or whatever it may be. It means that you're expressing your wants and needs. It's completely different. And it's not being a pushover. So that's my spiel right now. I'm going to post this video up. I think it's a powerful video. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right, peace. Watch your six.